to that. I'm part of Helen Martin's intro. I love it. I'm like, I've got to record this. Sorry.
I often sit behind here and just have a little boogie to myself, when that's playing. Like it's got a little catchy tune.
Right. It really builds up the excitement.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. If you haven't gathered, I have a very special guest with me today. We're just having a little big boogie with the intro. I have the beautiful, wonderful Meghan Brazier with me live today to share with us how the hell she did almost 1 million in team sales volume in the last year. So obviously that's an incredible result in the industry. It's not something that many people can achieve. You've done it. So we want to pick your brain as to how you've been able to achieve that and hopefully give us some tips. So for those that are listening live or on the replay, just might take some inspiration or some ideas away from what you've shared as to, how they could possibly achieve something like that for themselves. So please say hello to Meghan. Meghan is a born and bred Aussie, so she's one of our own, but she skipped the country. She lives in Chicago and has done for, how many years have you been in Chicago now?
Okay, it's crazy. This April, it will be 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
So 11 years in America, but she loves it when she comes home.
I do.
To visit her family. All her family are still here. So, she still sounds like me. Like she sounds like an Aussie, but she actually lives in America. And how we know each other is Meghan and I had a very similar kind of a story with wanting to build the modern way online. So, did it all the traditional way. And I'll let you tell your story in a minute. You had some great success doing things the old school way. So you can share that in a sec. But we both wanted to learn how to build online through attraction marketing, and we met through a student community. And I've even taught Meghan, as a student previously as well. And so it must have been all me. It must have been what you learned from me.
It's all you, Helen. I'm telling you. I still learn from you. You're amazing. God.
Yeah. Thank you. So tell us, share, those of you that haven't met Meghan before, just share a little bit about your journey in this wonderful world of, social selling and network marketing, that has led you to the point up until, having the success that you've had.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. I feel honored to be on this call with you, Helen, because I've admired you for years. You're amazing. You have taught me a lot, actually. So I moved here. I used to be a school teacher back in Australia, and I had to give all that up to move over here. My husband got a job, and so I moved over here pregnant, had babies, and then I was just looking for a way to make money online because I couldn't go back to work because I was pregnant with my third. And anyway, I fell into network marketing. I didn't know actually what it was. I was just looking for a way. I needed $1,000 to buy this rug that I really wanted, and my husband wouldn't let me get because we were only on one income. He's like, we're not spending $1,000 on a rug. And I'm like, well, I will find a way. And I found a way, and happened to be through network marketing. It was a skincare company, party-based model, and I did really well. I had a good wall market, right? So I think sometimes, when you start off, if you've got a good wall market, that's awesome. You'll have kind of faster success at the beginning, but it was all through parties, and it was all through. And at that time, parties were big. Like, people wanted to host and people wanted to do them. They were so fun, and it was a great time to be doing them. And so I made $1,029 in my first month. So I was like, I can get my rug, and oh my gosh, what is this network marketing thing? This is amazing. I can make money. 7 months pregnant with 2 toddlers. I had twin toddlers running around. I'm like, this is incredible. So I was hooked. And so I kept doing that for a few more years. And by 2020, it was even before like the whole thing, the world shut down, but I was burnt out. I was like just trying to get people to host, me having to leave the house to host. It was becoming a bit ridiculous. And I thought, I can't do this forever. Like, I have to find another way. And that's when I started seeing things online about, attraction, like you can get people to come to you. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? This sounds amazing. Like, what is all this about? And so I kind of dived into all of that. And I was like, okay, I have to learn this. Like, I have to do this. And so I spent 2020 learning like all the skills and how to build systems for my team, like how to create on social media so that people would come to you. And I built it all out for my team. And that year we grew like 75%, and I got to the top of the company in that year by implementing those strategies. The only problem was that I was the only one doing it. Like I was the one kind of fighting against the grain of what the company was teaching, what my upline was teaching, what sidelines were teaching. So I was kind of like this lone leader trying to do all the things, and it was exhausting. And I just felt like I would have team members coming in and they'd hear something from corporate or from my upline, and then I'm trying to teach them this way. And it was all just hard. It was confusing, you know?
So do you think that comes just down to like the culture of the company that you're in, whether they're like attraction marketing, modern, online aligned, or old school? Because there's still a lot of companies out there that still kind of teach those old school strategies. So is that kind of what led you to leave there, that they just wouldn't come on board with that stuff?
That was part of it. It was part that, because I mean, and you can do it on your own and be successful, like I was. Like you can. And some people I just want to be pioneers and just lead the way and do it. So it was, but I felt lonely. I was just like, I want to do this with people that get me. Like I just want to build with people who understand what I'm doing. So I did start to kind of look at other things, but I was so loyal to where I was, and I was kind of like a lifer, and I was like, I can't leave these people. Like I've been through so much with them, and oh my gosh, I couldn't. And it's like your first company, you're like, I can't leave. Like I can't do that. And then things happen actually with the company. It was bought by private equity, and the comp plan changed as well. So then a couple of things happened that made me really go, actually, okay, this is a bit more serious. Like I do need to find something else. Like I've kind of lost the loyalty's gone a bit, and I'm feeling more and more distant. So that's when I decided to move away and kind of jumped into another company that was attraction marketing focused. And I thought this is going to be it. Like, and I was so excited when I joined, and I quickly realized when I got in that it wasn't quite what I hoped it would be. I just felt
in what way?
The systems weren't quite what I thought they were going to be. I thought I was going to jump in and have everything that I wanted, ATM groups and I don't know, just leadership that I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be more. And then the team culture was not me. It was just, I just didn't fit. I just did not fit. I wasn't like aligned. I tried to make it work. I really, really tried. And I just got to a point, and I knew in my gut, I was like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? I love the products. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the products. And I loved my team and my upline. It was just sort of beyond that. That was just like, oh, these are not really my people. And there was just a few things that happened that was just like not, I don't know, wasn't right for me. So I then decided 2 years into that, I'm like, I need to make another move. Now I had been watching the company I'm in now. I had been watching them for a while, and I just kept watching them. I'm like, man, these seem like my people. They seem to have everything that I want. Like, is it too good to be true? But I just decided, you know what? If I don't give this a go, I'll always wonder, you know, what if, or should have I done that? Or I knew I had to get out of where I was. And I even questioned, do I keep doing network marketing? Is this really for me? Do I do like digital marketing, go and do my own course, because I had my own course at the time? Do I just focus on that? There's something in me was just pulling me and just going, just try, just do this. And anyway, I jumped in, and literally the first day of launching, I knew it was crazy how I felt, the alignment piece of it. I was just like, all the systems I could possibly want, the leadership. I just very quickly saw that, okay, we can run with this. So
talk us through. So you said you moved to the other company, and just like in your gut, you just were not feeling. It just didn't feel aligned, and you were watching, something else and someone else, and then you got in and it's like, yes, yes, yes. What are those yes, yes, yeses? What's made the difference with where you are now for those yes, yes, yeses? Because you've had huge success in 12 months. So what was the difference between where you were and what you have now? What's those pieces that have made you be so, will help you to become so successful?
Great question. So all the onboarding system set up for people, the duplication that was in place, that firstly, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a simple way for me to plug my people in. But more importantly, for someone who was brand new, it was so simple for them to plug someone into. No one was left guessing, oh, what do I do? Like I'd never had such a just simple, straightforward onboarding process for people. Then the prospecting groups, I'm like, oh, these are groups that I've been looking for. You know, my mentor herself, I was like, oh, she's exactly where I want to be. She's doing exactly the things that I want to do. And so she'll be able to help me because she's done it and exactly how I want to do it. Like we are on the same page, completely the same page with attraction marketing. And then I will say another thing is like the comp plan, how it helps and favored the lower ranks, making it a very simple way for them to earn actually good money without having to hit a rank and without having to recruit anyone. They could actually make money. And that was really big for me because I felt like being a leader before, I earned good money, but my team was struggling. And I'm like, that's not fun for me. I don't like that. So I wanted to know that I had a really simple process. Now, I don't like to say it's easy because it still takes work and I don't like to tell anyone anything's easy, but it was so much more simplified that I'm like, all you have to do is do it. Like do these steps, earn this money.
So have you found with the simplicity of that where you are now and the team that you're building now, they're winning quicker, therefore that's led to momentum in your business than where you were before? Like people join and then they kind of fall apart. Like I think we've all had that in the industry. Somebody joins and then witness protection program, you know, where are they? And that comes from overwhelm because people get scared or they just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So has that been like catapulted your, like the journey that you've been on in the last year?
For sure. I think the duplication piece of it, that, as I said before, like for the person, the newest person to come in, whether they've got zero experience, you know, or they're a leader, but the person with zero experience can come in as long as they are willing to show up and follow the plan, right? Because we can't, you know, that's the X factor is the person coming in because whenever, you know, but if they're willing to like follow the plan, it's very, very simple. It's like get a daily text, do this. This is why, here is an example, go. And so it's kind of foolproof. If you can read, you can and post, then you'll be good. and it's proven to work. We're like, if you follow our launch plan, our first 10 days, we guarantee that you're going to attract leads. That's our guarantee. And it's true. Even the person with zero influence, we know that you're going to get even 1 or 2 leads, right? And even getting those leads, every single person is like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe these people came to me and asked for more information. And even just that alone fuels the belief that, wow, this system works. I'm going to keep going. And so everyone keeps going.
So kind of what I'm hearing with, and I've heard you just say it then a couple of times, belief. So when you're in a company that's got a system and people are duplicating and they believe that they can do it, then you're actually living and breathing attraction marketing because you're attracting people to you because you have the belief. Like, how strong is that belief? Is that a huge part of like your journey because your belief has gone through the roof from where you were to where you are now? Like, what difference has that made with your social media and attracting people to you?
Oh my gosh, another great question. What I didn't even realize with my previous company was that I wasn't showing up consistently at all, because looking back, I realized I didn't have the belief that I could bring someone in and they would have success.
Okay.
So that was kind of fueling me showing up and not even talking about the business. I talked about the products a lot because I had high belief in the products, but I wasn't talking about the business. So I wasn't really recruiting that many people. Whereas now because I know without a doubt that if someone joins me, I know exactly how to help them get, customers and things in their first 10 days. I know exactly how to do it. And I've seen people doing it, lots and lots of people actually making it work, that my belief is so high. And I tell you, Helen, every day I talk about the business. I'm so excited about it. I want everyone to know about what I have to offer, whether they're brand new, whether they've got experience. I'm like, I kind of just want to shake everyone by the shoulders. I'm so excited and going, you've got to see this. This is like incredible. This is incredible. And my energy and my excitement is so high, and you can see it online. Like, I had people actually reaching out going, oh my God, you seem so excited about what you're doing. I'm like, I am excited, and I won't stop talking about it, and I won't apologize about it, because I am where I need to be. And I didn't know what alignment felt like until I got here. I didn't realize it could feel like this, like every day waking up. Like, I'm a year and a bit in now, and I still wake up every day just like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful to be here. Oh my gosh, I'm so like all these things that we got. Like, how did I get here? I'm so glad that I followed my intuition and came here because of the way I feel and the way I show up, and seeing the people that have been attracted in because of that belief. And I tell you what else the belief fuels, Helen, is consistency. I show up every single day to talk about my products, my business, what I'm doing, helping others, offering value. I show up every single day. And when I show up every day, guess what that does? That attracts people to me. I've had, a couple of my top leaders watch me for 7 months. They watched me. I had no idea. I had no idea who they were. I had no idea they were watching me, but they were evaluating me because they were in a position where they were like, trying to make some big decisions about where they wanted to be. They weren't happy where they were at, and they just kept watching me because they wanted to be sure that I was for real. They wanted to be sure that I'd planted my flag here, and that, they wanted to learn about everything that I was doing. So I made sure every day, I didn't know this, but they were like trying to find out everything. And so I make a conscious effort every day anyway. I'm like, I wonder what my prospect needs to hear today. I wonder what question they need answered. Like, I kind of know what people are thinking. So I'm always thinking, oh, I'll answer that question today, or I'll answer that question. I know that people are curious about this, or they're curious about that. Like, we kind of know what people think, because that's how we think. So I'm like, every day, I'm like, what does my perfect prospect need to hear from me today? What's holding them back? And so I just keep peppering them with information. So I just kept doing that. Little did I know that they were actually seriously following me and watching me. I had no idea. But because I was so excited and I kept showing up and I was so consistent and I was bringing people in and I was recognizing people and showing people earning their, commission, like I was showing all the things, then eventually one day they reached out to me and was like, hey, I would like to have a conversation with you about joining. And you're like, oh, who is this person? And, and then one thing leads to another. And now they're two of my top leaders. And so it's just I think knowing that your next recruit, like your next team member, is actually already watching you and evaluating you. So what can you be doing today to show them that you are the right mentor for them? And so that's what I try to do every day, and show up to be like, this is why you should join me. This is why I can be your mentor. This is who I am. Maybe I'm your style, maybe I'm not. So that doesn't matter. You can't don't change yourself. Be yourself, because you will attract the right people that you want to work with, right? And be okay with the fact that not everyone is going to want to partner with you, but the right people will. The right people will.
So what I'm really hearing from you in how you've been able to achieve this success is you've been able to attract the right people that you want to work with through your. And this is why I always, like, my first video of the week is always something to do with personal development and personal growth, because it always comes down to us. It's you being excited. It's you being aligned. It's you showing up. It's you sharing questions. It's you being helpful on social media that keeps attracting people to you. Correct?
Correct.
And is majority of the team, I'm assuming, through attraction marketing that you don't know, like, or that you haven't known. And this is attraction marketing at its finest. And I think the consistency piece people like undervalue. Like, and Meghan has just shared one of her top leaders followed her for 7 months. Like, just get that for a minute and appreciate what Meghan just said about, your next recruit is probably watching you right now, and they are evaluating you as to whether you are going to, be somebody that's going to support them and continue to show up. So they're watching you to see whether you'll continue to show up, as to whether you're going to support them. So obviously one of your top leaders was watching you for 7 months, and you kept showing up, and you were still excited 7 months down the track than when you joined. And, I know you're just as excited now, in your business, just more than 12 months down the track than when you joined, correct? Like, if anything, it's just probably getting, better and better.
Yeah, the vision. I mean, you're like, when you're in a company that has a strong vision themselves, and you've got leadership with such strong vision, you've got product innovation, you've got, all the things that you can see the future. And I'm like, I am here to build a legacy. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I am so excited. And every time we learn more things about what's coming, and, just all of that, it fuels it even more. So, every day I get more and more excited. And I always imagine, I'm like, imagine that the people who are excited at the beginning, and then they kind of don't stay consistent and they kind of disappear. That person who was watching you, when they're ready in 3 months' time and you're not there anymore, guess what? They're going to go with someone else. They could have been a rock star for you, and you've just let them go. So I'm always like, I need to be available and present every day so that my person doesn't go to somebody else. I want them to want to choose me.
Yeah, I've got another question for you. Hopefully I don't forget it, but I just want to pick up on what Debbie has asked here. Do you do lives on your personal page or a business page?
Yeah, that's a great question. All personal page. You don't need a business page. You really, unless you're like running ads, which honestly, I don't think anyone needs to do that. It's a lot of money, a lot of work. You need to be highly trained. Personal pages are where it's at. I do lives on my personal feed on Facebook and on Instagram.
Yeah. So that's Meghan's, and you can just find her under her name. You've got the spelling of her name. Obviously, just write that down or screenshot that if you want to look at Meghan's Instagram or, Facebook. What I always recommend about a business page is, if you've got a business page like I have that you started with and you've still got an engaged audience, then it's worth it to keep it going. But I wouldn't be starting a business page. And I often say that to people, like, if you were going to start something separate to a personal profile, like start a group, or connect with your uplines and do like groups together for your team. Like, you don't want everybody starting their own groups. But personal profile is kind of where it's at with Facebook, unless you've already got established like a business page because of the organic reach. But I'm really hearing from you that a lot of your success is, and I can sort of feel, your vibe that you have for what you're doing. We can't underestimate our level of excitement that we give off to our audience. If we talk like, oh, you should join my business, it's really exciting. So how important do you think energy is with, showing up in your socials, and where do you show up? Just, where do you show up on social media? What's your main kind of strategy for posting? Just to let everyone know.
Okay, well, let's talk about energy first, because it's contagious. People are drawn to energy. They're drawn to you being excited, and are you funny? Can you make people laugh? I always say funny makes you money, guys. Be funny. If you can be funny, and maybe you don't be funny, but share something funny, or everyone has something funny that's happened to them. Like just that. Like, and you don't have to be funny all the time. You don't have to pretend that you're excited when you're having a bad day, but like when you're in the mood, like just show your energy and be excited.
Lighten up. Just lighten up.
Lighten up. Just stop being so serious. So in terms of like where I post, so I'm a big Facebook and Instagram girl. I love both of those platforms. Listen, I think if you're struggling on social media, then focus on one platform. Focus on one platform and one platform only, and just get really good at that platform and really invest your time. I've been actually training a lot of people on my team lately. I've been doing some like one-on-one coaching and really talking through this with them and figuring it out. Okay, well, which platform is your favorite? Where are you getting the most engagement? Where do you have the most influence? And for a lot of them, it's actually Facebook. And I think Facebook has made a massive comeback, and I feel like it's the place to be. I love the Facebook platform. And when they have decided, I'm like, you know what? It's okay to like just leave Instagram alone. It's okay. If you're getting no engagement there, just leave it there. Why don't we focus on Facebook? and create a Facebook strategy of like a posting strategy, a networking strategy, connecting with people, and just do that. And guess what? When they've kind of been given permission to release that they don't have to do all the platforms, go all in and get good at one, it's literally changed their business. They feel so much more committed. They're excited. They're clearer in the head because they're like, oh, I've got one thing to focus on. They're getting way more leads and they're getting results. Like I'm seeing these people actually getting in more sales and more leads, and they're like, oh my God, it's working. So focus on one. I'm doing both because I just have been doing both for a lot, and they both are doing well. So I do a lot of reels on Instagram, mainly reels, and my stories linked to Facebook. So those are connected. And then on Facebook, I actually have a completely different strategy to Instagram. I don't cross post unless it's a reel. I cross post that. Yeah. I don't cross post anything else over. Facebook to me is its own strategy. And I love to try and post on there, 5 times a week is kind of my strategy. And yeah, so I post on, I do live videos, I do written posts, I do color block posts on Facebook, and I make sure in my stories every single day. So that's kind of what I do.
And in your stories, like, is that mainly business or product focused? Are you just sharing what you're doing in your day? Are you like, what's your makeup of content in your stories on a day, like just an average kind of day?
Yeah. So every day, what I try and think about are I call them like the 3 buckets. So I'm looking at how can I entertain my audience today? How can I add value to them today? And how can I market to them today? So it's always something a bit personal, like lifestyle related, maybe, I don't know, something silly doing with my kids, like my stories. I think today I put my twins on there because they were just doing some funny things. So I was kind of posting about that. Sometimes I post about my chicken. She's got nothing to do with business, but sometimes I put her on there. Then I'm like, okay, how can I offer value? So maybe it's like sharing a recipe, sharing a fun Amazon find I just had, sharing the new bedding I bought for my bed and how I redid my bed. Just something, value around business or educating about something, And then marketing. I make sure to talk about my products and or business in some way every single day. So products wise, it could be like making my product, taking it, how it works, testimonials, how it's helping others. Business, it could be recognizing someone on my team, showing a team call, talking about how I get people started, showing people's results. So I kind of pepper that in between the fun and the value, so that kind of people get exposed to it every day, but they also are getting to know me behind the scenes.
I think that's probably the key word there is the exposure through, like, it's not always about selling. It's about the exposure, testimonials, you making your drinks, whatever you're doing, peppered in, with your life. So people don't feel like they're bombarded and they still want to watch it. And when we include like just day-to-day stuff, people are intrigued by behind the scenes. It's really weird. People love to know what people are doing in their lives.
Totally.
So that kind of content is really important. Debbie's asked a question here. How often weekly do you talk products or / opportunity as a Facebook Live?
Yeah, so I think weekly is a good strategy for a live, to talk about business and or products. And it's something fun that you can do is like, who could you interview? Like I tell my team, I'm like, go and even across like sidelines, I'm like, find someone to interview about their product journey or their business journey. And kind of you could have content for years doing that, like getting people in your team to talk to and just be like, I want to share this story today. This is really, really powerful. We had a team call last week and someone shared their testimonial and I was like, oh, I need to do an interview with her. I really want to get her on my Facebook and share her story because it was incredible. So I think once a week is great.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do a live that was, or many more lives than that about business or product, especially if you're on like Facebook. Like you've got to build up the know, like, and trust. If we get too pushy, people will start to turn off. But it is a lesson to continually show up. And what we always say about marry the process and divorce the result. If you put something out about product or business, whether that's in stories or in a post, or in a live video. Like, I seriously don't care. I mean, it's good when you get engagement and people comment, but I seriously don't care if I don't get much, because I know it's there. It's part of my journey, and people are still watching. And there is a lot of people watching that don't comment.
Yeah.
Like Meghan said, somebody watched her, one of her top leaders watched her for 7 months, and you never really knew. Is that
yeah.
right?
She never liked, she never commented, nothing. And I think it's really important. People go, oh, whenever I post a product post, no one seems interested. I'm like, that's normal. Like, they're like, they seem to like my posts with my kids the most. So I'm like, yeah, that's normal. Like, of course they do. Like, people are going to interact way more with your lifestyle posts and your value posts. As soon as you start talking about products or business, people do hold back. But guess what? They are all watching. Quite often, they just don't want you to know that they're interested yet, because they're still evaluating you. And they're going to wait until they're ready to reach out to you.
And this is why color block posts are also really good, like an engagement type post, is to see who's seeing your content and who's commenting. So if they're commenting on that, if they see an engagement post and they comment on that, they're probably seeing your other post and just not commenting on that.
Yep.
So don't overthink sometimes the engagement. You've got to have that kind of content there. Susan has asked, how often is it okay to do an interview? I probably wouldn't do an interview more than one a week. Like, you don't want to bombard your audience with multiple interviews. So, maybe one a week.
1 a week, one every 2 weeks. It's up to you. I mean, if you're not used to doing lives, and, maybe start with one every couple of weeks, or, I don't know, one a month even. Like, start there. I don't think you need to do more than one a week, though.
Yeah, same. So key tips I picked up and I wrote down, like, simple onboarding has obviously made a massive difference to the duplication in your team. Duplication creates volume, correct? So just having a simple system that everybody can follow, whether they've got experience or not, that creates volume and that duplicates. So that's been a big winner for you. Having established ATM groups, like groups within the team, obviously that's been a big help. Like, it's not something you have to create. You don't have to do all the work in a Facebook group. It's all done sort of by the leaders, and you contribute to that, right?
Exactly. I love being able to come in as a leader and still being able to contribute and being part of it, but not having to create something like that from scratch. And already is social proof in those groups. There's thousands of people already in there. I'm like, oh, I don't need to like build this thing up. It's already it's built. Like, this is great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously being aligned with a comp plan that actually sets people up to win. Like, you're seeing all the time, people are winning, from those lower ranks. So that's really important. And all of that combined with the leadership and not having to do everything yourself, the impression that I'm getting, your belief is through the roof, your confidence is through the roof. That creates consistency and excitement on social media, which then attracts people to you. And, it's just exploded for you over the last year because of that. So it's that, I guess, to put it in a nutshell at the end of the day, it's what you were saying about alignment. Correct?
Yep. You wrapped it up nicely in a nice little bow there, Helen. It really makes a difference. Alignment and having full belief.
You're fully invested and you're getting the results because of that. So, I think the lesson here for those of you listen, if you don't have that full alignment, if there's missing pieces for you, whether that's groups or a comp plan or leadership or products or whatever it is, if you've got a missing piece in that alignment, that might be something to investigate and evaluate, because that will probably always hold you back. And, that alignment with all the pieces that you're talking about is obviously what's made the difference for you in the last 12 months in showing up. And, when you get that, I think how, I see you show up, and we work closely together. We're fortunate for that. It's effortless is the difference that I think that makes. When you're happy, you've got alignment, you're confident, your belief in all areas is social media becomes quite effortless. Would that be, just to finish off, what we're talking about here, would that sum that up quite well, is that you're actually doing this with ease and flow now because you feel so good about it, that you're not forcing your content. You're not sitting there every day going, what the hell? Like, I overthinking things. It just comes effortlessly to, obviously everything is an effort, don't get me wrong. But it comes more effortlessly to you in how you're showing up because of that alignment piece.
Yeah. Yes. I would say I want to make the effort to do it. I'm willing to make the effort, and it's with ease as well. Like, the flow is there. You're so right. but it's like, oh, I can't wait to get something up today. I can't wait to, I'm not posting out of, oh, I've got to get something up to there. Oh, I've got to get something up. It's, oh, what can I put up today? And I'm so clear on my message and who I'm talking to as well. So for me to create the content, and I'm only good at it now because I've been doing it for a long time. It's practice as well. So if you're really finding it hard to produce content, that's just because you need to practice more. You just need to get more. But it is easier when you're so excited about what you're doing. So yeah, for sure.
Agreed. And I think to pick up on something you just said, which is really important in this mix as well, is to be really clear about your messaging. So who do you help and what are you helping them with and why are you helping them with it and what it means to you and your story and all of that. Like being really clear about your messaging is obviously, what's worked for you as well.
100%.
Yeah. So we won't keep you any longer. I just want to thank you so much for sharing, all of those things. I hope those of you listening, please, help me thank Meghan, whether you're live or you're watching later on the replay, please thank Meghan. You can see the spelling of her name there if you want to follow her on Facebook or, Instagram. Thank you for sharing your insights. Congratulations on all your success. It's only just been over a year, so I can't wait to see what you're going to achieve in the next, in the next coming year. It's exciting. Hello.
Okay, not now. Sorry, I just got home. Just well, thank you for having me. This is good timing for me to be out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm so excited, and I hope everyone who's watching is just inspired to really get consistent with their business and really evaluate where they're at. And I want success for everybody. So I just really hope that everyone has that alignment, because if you've got that piece, the rest you can learn. The skills and all the things you can learn. But if you just you love where you are, you love your company, you love you love everything about it. That's the best part. That's the best part. Everything else you can learn and implement and skills, over time. So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you once again. We'll let you go and do mum duties. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for sharing that with our audience.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.